And a very pleasant good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this special edition of Tornado Talk, a live report we're getting here with head men's basketball coach Lee Burgess as the Tornadoes are on the road preparing for a huge matchup this evening, USA South Conference semifinal play at NC Wesleyan. Joined now by head men's basketball coach Lee Burgess. Coach Burgess, thanks for making some time for us.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Fun time to be here. So thanks for having me on and putting it together.
Yeah, outstanding. Well, the Tornadoes in the USA South Conference tournament. And first things first, Coach, would love to kind of hear where the team's at this point. You guys have made, your way to Rocky Mount, North Carolina, preparing for this game. It's a 5:30 p.m. start. Can you tell us about the rest of today's activities?
Yeah, right now, I hope and I think the guys are asleep right now. You usually like behind the scenes, looks, Phil. I can give you some great stories here that we can get into about how the last 48 hours has gone for the program. But right now, I hope they're asleep. We'll go do a shoot around here in an hour and a half and then grab a bite for pregame meal and get off our feet for about an hour before we head back to the gym for the game.
Outstanding. And, the way the Tornadoes got here, an exciting 90-84 win on Tuesday night in the USA South Conference first round over Pfeiffer. Went on the road for that one as well, USA South Conference play, and were able to get that big USA South Conference win, the first USA South Conference postseason win in our program's history here. Coach, would love from your perspective, tell us about that game, how it unfolded, how proud you are of the effort.
Yeah, really exciting game. To play in postseason is special. We go on the road to a team that had beaten us twice, and a matchup that we felt all right about. We had not played great against them to that point, but what a game! 90 points for us, 84 points for Pfeiffer. I mean, both teams were pretty efficient offensively. There was not wide margins one way or the other where, one team's up 15 and a big comeback. I mean, the margins were pretty small all the way through. So I would think from a spectator standpoint, a very entertaining game. And fortunately for us, we were able to make the plays down the stretch to give us a little bit of separation and come away with a win. So a postseason win on the road, against a team that had beaten us twice. In a game where really you couldn't afford to blink. I mean, if you blinked for a couple minutes, that the other team was going to be ahead and have a decent working margin in their favor. So for our guys not to blink, to stick with it and be able to come away with a win, man, very, very proud, very special moment, and fun to be a part of.
And contributions from throughout the roster, 5 players scoring in double figures. Kayvon Horton, KK Horton, as we know him around here, the 2-time reigning USA South Rookie of the Week with a game-high 16 points. He was 7 of 12 from the field, also 6 rebounds. Chancey Watson, 14 points, hits a key 3-pointer down the stretch. Carson Evans with 12, Jaden Carnes with 12, and also Quincy Carter hit 3 3-pointers en route to 11 points and also dished out 4 assists. So some big efforts from those 5 along with others.
Yep. Yeah. No, it was team wide for sure. Chancey stepped up big. We have a very deep team, and we had a lot of contributions, as you mentioned, and then Chancey found himself playing probably a few more minutes in that game than he had played in games past because he was certainly being productive for us. Had scored it around the rim some, and that 3 that he made was a big one. We needed it. Again, part of that not blinking thing that I talked about earlier. I mean, we needed that. We needed that 3 in a big way, and he got it for us. So him along with all the other guys you mentioned, and then we certainly had it was through the team, even guys that didn't statistically contribute. Our bench was into it the whole game, giving energy to the guys on the floor. It was certainly a team wide affair, and we'll need another one here tonight. So great step forward for our program. Great contributions from everybody.
And with that win, of course, Brevard advances to the USA South semifinal. So now there's only 4 teams left in this USA South Conference tournament. Coach, as far as the team's mindset, I know you've got a great blend of veterans and also young players. As far as getting that first conference win in program history, now the stakes go that much higher. Can you kind of tell us the sort of the attitude and the mentality of the team at the moment?
Yeah. First of all, I think we're a confident group. I mean, I think we all realize that we are playing our best basketball right now, that we've played this year. So I think we're a confident group. Number one. Number two, we know the task in front of us is a big one here tonight. So I think we're approaching it with the seriousness that deserves. But we're enjoying the moment. We're having fun with this. Not so much from the aspect of we finally won a postseason game or anything like that, but more from the standpoint of we have nothing to lose here. All of this pressure is on North Carolina Wesleyan right now. We really, a lot of people probably didn't even expect us to make the tournament, much less be in the semifinals. So we're a confident group in that we feel like we're playing our best right now. But we have a looseness about us that, let's go have fun and enjoy this moment. There's not a lot of teams left playing. We still are. And all of this pressure should be on North Carolina Wesleyan tonight.
Yeah, North Carolina Wesleyan, the number 1 seed in the tournament. The Tornadoes, the number 5 seed. They knocked off number 4 seed Pfeiffer to become in this position. And now a 5:30 p.m. tip-off this evening in Rocky Mount, North Carolina at NC Wesleyan. Coach, these two teams played just 11 days ago, an overtime thriller at the Bosch where, Brevard really gave the top team in the USA South Conference standings all they could handle and then some. But it proved just how tight of a matchup this is and how well these two teams match up against each other. Would love to hear your sort of feelings coming off that overtime defeat and now the idea of these two teams matching up again this evening.
Yeah, I think that first of all, we played well in that game, number one. Number two, our guys realizing that we're going to need to and can play better. I mean, we did have 20 turnovers in that game where we played them at our place and lost. We had 20 turnovers. One of the big pluses for us against Pfeiffer, we had 3 turnovers in the game. So we're going to have to take care of the ball tonight and play a little bit better than what we did at our place. So yes, we played well, but we're going to need to and we can play better. You talk about, in my opinion, this is my opinion, how good of a matchup this is. And I think the reason it's a good matchup is because there are mismatches all over the place. So it's not a great matchup, but those not great matchups even out for everybody. They're big, they're physical, they're athletic. That's the strength of their team is interior play, guards getting in the paint, scoring around the basket. That the strength of their team is interior. And that is not our strength in terms, especially from a defensive side. We're not an overly big team. We're not an overly physical team. We can be, but that's not necessarily our strength, right? So that's a matchup problem for us. But then they got to come guard us on the other end. Those big guys have to come guard us on the other side of the floor. And I think that's a matchup in our favor. That's a mismatch for them to have to guard in space, chase our guys around the perimeter. And I think that's to our advantage. Now, that comes with having to make some perimeter shots. We've got to shoot it well. We've got to score it well. We've got to make great decisions in the paint. When those big guys are tracking us around the goal, we've got to make good decisions. Is this a basket that I can go score, or is this going to be a really hard shot that either I don't score or gets blocked and I need to get this thing out, let somebody else shoot it. So we've got to play. We got to play really well. We got to play efficiently offensively, to have a shot in this thing tonight. But the reason I think it's a good matchup is because it's not a good matchup, if that makes sense. But I think those mismatches kind of even out to where if we're playing well, this could be a really tight affair.
Yeah, the differences in the makeup of the two teams makes it a very compelling matchup, right. An even matchup, but a compelling one at that. Coach, you mentioned the 3 turnovers in the Pfeiffer win. just one turnover in that entire second half. I mean, just outstanding work protecting the basketball, and then down the stretch as well when, the stakes get that much higher with every possession. I'd love for you to expound on that even more, just how critical, that turnover battle is in any given basketball game, but especially in the tournament.
It is. And, it's obvious, so I'll be Captain Obvious for a minute. Obviously, when you turn the ball over, you don't get a shot on goal. And so if you look at a stat sheet or something like that, and another team gets 15 to 20 more shots on goal because the other team has turned it over more, it's a really hard thing to overcome. And so in a game like this, North Carolina Wesleyan, where we're gonna battle our tails off, but they're going to get some offensive rebounds just because of their size. So if you look at them offensively shooting, the ones they miss, now having a pretty good shot to rebound and then get another shot at scoring, you combine that with, if we have turnovers on our end, those shots on goal can really start to skew, which makes it it's hard for us to make up that ground. We've either got to make a lot of threes to make up that ground, or just shoot it at a really, really high percentage. So, that's why it's important is in games like this, or the game like Tuesday, when games you think are going to be tight and close, you need as many opportunities to score as you could possibly get. When you're throwing the ball to the other team, you're obviously not giving yourself an opportunity to score. So, taking care of the ball is important. It was a point of emphasis going into Tuesday, and our guys did a great job not putting the ball in harm's way.
We're speaking with head men's basketball coach Lee Burgess, just hours away from a 5:30 p.m. tip-off this evening in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, BC, at NC Wesleyan in the semifinals of the USA South Conference tournament. Coach, you mentioned the student-athlete experience and how you guys are enjoying yourselves and living it moment to moment and that kind of thing in Rocky Mount. Well, do want to mention some breaking news. Garrett Sutherland was named College Sports Communicators, formerly known as the organization COSIDA, Academic All-District Team, which is big. He then gets eligible for Academic All-American status. He'll be on that ballot. So a big tip of the hat to Garrett Sutherland. But awesome. I know from an academic standpoint, these student athletes have a lot on their plate, whether it's practices, whether it's, traveling to games, and then certainly tournament time and that kind of thing. And, I want to commend all your student athletes for all their great work in the classroom as well. The balance as a student athlete, handling your business in the classroom and also handling business on the basketball court and enjoying these championship moments like you guys are experiencing now.
Yeah, and I'll just give you a little bit of a peek behind the scenes, just to kind of reiterate, just to hammer home your point. We left yesterday and we had some bus issues. I don't know if that word has gotten to you or not, but we got basically to Winston-Salem and our bus went kaput. And so we had a 4-hour delay as they worked on that fix. We were able to get to a Cracker Barrel and get something to eat, but we stayed there for a little while. But it took a total of 4 hours to get another bus to us. But after we're done eating, and it's like, listen, guys, take your time. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. I look up and we've got two of our guys with their laptops out on the table at Cracker Barrel. One of them's doing a paper for a music class, and the other was working on chemistry homework. And so it's like, wow, student athlete. I mean, it's making the most of their time. You got your Cracker Barrel biscuits right here, and you got your laptop right here, and you're doing what you can with what you got. So certainly proud of our guys to be able to shoulder the load that they shoulder. But there's a great add-on to what you just talked about. Our guys, working hard with basketball, working hard with academics, and making the most of the time that they have.
Well, we might have to approach Cracker Barrel for a sponsor, because they help weary travelers throughout the United States, who need a rest. But now, we're learning that they can help provide some assistance to the student athlete as far as them getting it done in the classroom. Well, appreciate, that backstory, Coach. I'm glad you guys made it, safe and sound to Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Well, as we wrap up this special edition, this live report for Tornado Talk, once again, BC men's basketball at NC Wesleyan, 5:30 p.m. tonight. Coach, the women's team is also heading to Rocky Mount. They're actually traveling right now at the moment. They play at 7:30 tonight. Just kind of a strange, serendipitous, occurrence here that both teams end up in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Would love to hear your feelings as far as, just kind of, people don't realize that the two teams, there's some unity. You guys are you're during the winter break. You guys are the only two teams and the only student athletes on campus. You guys share the gym space, of course, and obviously look out for each other all the time. I'm sure you're proud of this women's basketball program under Coach Donald Hudson as well. And then the fact that you guys are both in the semifinals of the USA South Conference, really cool.
It is. You're right about the unity. I think that, first of all, at the college in general, we've got a pretty tight-knit group in athletics. We've got great people, and when great people are together, they enjoy being around each other and enjoy working together. And I think we've got that at Brevard College, which is awesome. I do think amongst the basketball staff, it is ticked up a notch just in terms of the closeness for all the reasons that you just mentioned. And so have really enjoyed watching that group play. They've had a phenomenal season. And Coach Hud and Coach AB have done an awesome job. And, we've got our own, group text thread with the four coaches in it. And we are constantly giving each other congrats when wins happen and when we're able to sweep the same day. That text thread is alive, and it was certainly alive on Tuesday night after they beat Methodist and we beat Pfeiffer, which is great and awesome. And so it is great that they're going to be here. I think that they're planning on getting to the gym in time to watch us play. We're certainly staying around after our game to watch them play. And so, in an atmosphere that will certainly be hostile towards us, at least each group will have 15 to 20 people pulling hard for them during their respective games. So hopefully they can get up here and travel safe, get themselves ready to go. But it has been a lot of fun watching their success and looking forward to watching them lay it out there tonight.
Outstanding. Well, I know Director of Athletics Miranda Nash, also Digital Media Director Joseph Marvin are en route to the game as well. And any Tornado fans who want to, maybe, do a little shotgun trip over to Rocky Mount, you can get a 2-for-1 this evening as the Tornadoes take on NC Wesleyan in both men's and women's basketball in the semifinals of the USA South Conference tournament. Both those games will be live streamed as well. You can find those links on bctornadoes.com, and right on cue there's Miranda Nash chiming in, giving you some congratulations there and some good luck heading into this evening. Coach, before we let you go, just final thoughts as far as one, just how proud you are of the team to get to this point, but two, anybody you may want to thank who's helped you along the way.
Yeah, no, super proud of the guys. They work really, really hard for this, and I know everybody knows that our guys work hard. Until you've done it or you see it every day, it's hard to have an appreciation for the level of sacrifice that these guys make. So for it to be rewarded in this way is great, and proud of them. From a thankfulness standpoint, I mentioned Monday, thankful for our AT group and them working hard to keep our guys healthy. We've got Nicole Harshbarger on our trip right now. She has worked hard to keep. We've got Jaden Carnes is battling some injuries right now, and she's working to keep him out there on the court. And she was able to, along with Jaden's hard work, get him out there Tuesday, which we obviously needed. And he had a great game Tuesday against Pfeiffer. And now it's been another couple of days of trying to keep him ready to go today. And I think he's going to be ready to go today. So very thankful for our AT.
I think we might have some technical difficulties at the moment with Coach Lee Burgess. See if we can get him back and tuned in.
I can hear you, but I can't see you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We'll take you offline for just one more second here, Coach, and see if we can get your video settled as well. Well, as Coach was mentioning, a lot of folks to thank as the Tornadoes 5:30 tonight take on NC Wesleyan in that USA South Conference semifinal matchup. The women's team will play at 7:30 p.m. in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Really exciting stuff as both these teams have advanced to the USA South Conference tournament semifinals. And what a time to be a Tornado between the men's and women's basketball teams making it to this juncture. There's spring sports happening throughout the campus of Brevard College this weekend in abundance. We saw the tennis teams yesterday in action at the McCoy Tennis Complex. We've got baseball this afternoon. We have baseball, women's lacrosse, and men's lacrosse on Friday. Baseball and softball are scheduled to play on Saturday as well. We're keeping an eye on the weather also. There might be some precipitation in the area come Saturday, and then Sunday, another baseball doubleheader. So there's all sorts of action on campus. There's just a great vibe at the moment, and so much of it is because of the USA South Conference run that both the men's and women's basketball teams are making here. So we'll see if we can get Coach Burgess back on for some final thoughts. Meanwhile, want to catch up a little further on women's basketball. We touched on a little bit with Coach Burgess as the Tornadoes advanced to the semifinals with a win over Methodist. That was on Tuesday night. They really came on strong late in that game with a big run in the final minutes, really kind of taken over that ball game and winning in front of a raucous crowd at the Boshemer Gymnasium, 84-76. And just really good stuff there as far as the Tornadoes advancing on. And then the Tornadoes, of course, will take on NC Wesleyan tonight, the women's basketball team, at 7:30 p.m. in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Some other breaking news: 4 Tornadoes on the women's basketball side named Academic All-District. McKenna Parkins, China Pouncey, Journey Tyler, and Callie Wells. And then on the women's basketball side, there was also conference awards named yesterday, and freshman forward Olivia Miller was named the USA South Conference Women's Basketball Rookie of the Year. That's a big major award coming from the USA South Conference for freshman forward Olivia Miller. Congratulations to her, out of Hudson, North Carolina. Also, Miller was named honorable mention all-conference. McKenna Parkins named all-conference first team. Congratulations to her. Certainly a notable award in and of itself, and a big honor there for McKenna Parkins, the junior forward from Marion, North Carolina. And then senior guard Journey Tyler named to the all-sportsmanship team. Later today, the men's basketball all-conference awards are scheduled to be announced. Well, really appreciate Coach Lee Burgess joining us on the program. Great to hear some of that behind-the-scenes news as far as the Tornadoes. And, we're thrilled that they made it to Rocky Mountain, North Carolina, despite some travel issues yesterday. But great to see them on site, ready to rock and roll, as this evening the Tornadoes will play NC Wesleyan, the number 1 seed, at 5:30 p.m. tonight. And a reminder, these two teams played a barn burner not too long ago, just 11 days ago, 74-68, the overtime win for North Carolina Wesleyan in that one. But it proved that these two teams are very, very even in terms of, their capacity to put the ball in the basket and also defend in the game of basketball. So big congratulations to Brevard College men's and women's basketball on this postseason run. Stay tuned to Brevard College Tornado social media, and we'll be bringing you all the news and information this evening as well. You can find those links to the live stream of tonight's game at bctornadoes.com on the schedule pages there. For all of us at Brevard College Tornado Athletics, and for Coach Lee Burgess, really thank him for joining us on the program. Go Tornadoes.